Hello and welcome back to the shit show. I think we're at episode 8, if I remember correctly.
I think
Yeah. So we're your typical host slash co-host here. Um, we're gonna kind of wrap up the end of the year and talk about like what the fuck happened in 2020. Because I think a lot of stuff happened.
You think?
You think so? I think
Nah, just a little bit.
just a little bit.
Pretty quiet year, really, when you think about it.
Yeah, I don't think much happened. It's just kind of like kind of a very forgetful year. I feel like.
No one's gonna remember this. This isn't going in history books.
No, I don't think so. I don't even remember because I was trying to think about this because I always obviously like looking back on years and stuff and like seeing like the progression of like where I started versus where I am. For example, January, I feel like I was a completely different person than I am now. You have that feeling?
Yeah, so in January, I was like leaving the corrections job because when COVID became a thing, I was like, "There's no way it's not coming here," and I kept picking up inmates that were sick, and I was like, "Nope." And one of them coughed on me. I was like, "I'm done. I can't do it anymore."
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, I would say I'm pretty different. I was a lot more introverted, I think, at the start of the year, and now, like, I have zero filter and I'm out there 24/7.
That is true, actually. You're very much more, I would say, even more comfortable from like the Joseph that I first got to know versus now. I like two different people.
Yeah, I don't feel like I have to, like, make anyone happy but me anymore, and, I'm like, I don't know, I like to have more natural fun now. I don't like, as soon as, like, a brand name got taken off of me, right? Like, when Aura got taken off of me, and I realized how much of myself I had to change to get into there, I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm not doing that a second time," and now I'm like, "Bleh!"
Aren't you the ELG?
Yeah.
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 Isn't that a brand name you're attached to now? Oh, I put you on a little bit of a spot there, didn't I?
So, if you want me to be honest, I'm messaging them after the podcast ends, and I think I'm going to step away because I thought I'd have time for my personal life, my professional life, and them, and I do not.
We
I
got,
don't have any time for anything. Like, I was doing weekly uploads for like 2 weeks, and then I got super busy
I was
with
gonna
like
say
work
you
and
were
all
doing
this
your
other stuff.
vlogs.
Yeah, I'm gonna start them again. Like, not like I'm gonna go back to releasing like my story time videos and stuff this week, and the vlogs will start again next Sunday. I hope. But I'll come home. I'll have like 2 hours to myself, and then I have to go to bed because I wake up at 4 in the morning every morning.
Oh my gosh.
Builds character.
I guess so. Well, I guess you heard it here first. Joseph was a part of ELG for a very short time, though. I feel like you
I
were in
was.
there
It
for
was
like a
really short,
month, maybe
if
two
that.
months.
I thought I'd have the time, and I didn't. And I'm like, there's no point in me being here if I'm not doing anything. So
I think like that's what a lot of people don't realize is when you join an org, you give up a very huge portion of your time to like the organization that you're part of, and that's what Aura did to me. It sucked a lot of shit out of me.
the infamous
the
Jackie
time.
call.
But although it built character throughout that, and I think I'm a very solid person coming out of that because it wasn't certainly towards the end. I think the beginning I was like, oh, I can do this, and I realized how much of a hardworking bitch I am, and then then
Yeah,
obviously
like
everything went down.
when everyone talks about like, oh, Aura made my friends. Aura introduced you to people, but you made your friends. Like, that's why
Yeah,
I don't really credit Aura with anything that has to do with me anymore. Because like, yeah, it introduced me to like you, Aries, Danny, and everyone else, but I'm the one that made those relationships, not the team.
I
So
think yeah, I think I still have to give some credit because it's the team that was built that got me interested in it at first, and then in that case, then met everybody after the fact. But obviously, Aura, I think for both of us was a big part of our year, if not one of the biggest parts of my year.
I think it was it was either the biggest part of my year or the second biggest behind Nina.
Mm-hmm. When
Because
did you and
I
Nina start dating?
March
Oh, a
March
2020.
8th. Mm-hmm.
Oh shit.
Yep.
Oh,
It's
so
been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a little bit then.
Mm-hmm.
Holy fuck.
Her and I met, and I started grinding like right after, and she was like gung ho for it from the start. And
Oh.
then I got picked up, and then Aura took over my life.
Hmm.
But the reason why I would probably give it second to Nina is because Nina came first, and she was with me the whole way. So she kind of played a factor in a lot of the decisions I made while I was in.
In that relationship with her
Mhm.
as well. That's really cool, actually. Yeah. I didn't realize you and Nina had met in March because I only joined Aura April, May-ish? Something like that.
Yeah, I think you came right before I did because I think frick, I was in like
You
I
were
can't remember.
you were picked up and I was still an editor.
Yeah, I was like I was a surprise pickup like halfway through the RC. I was like the middle ground pick.
You were the guy in the middle. This one.
Yeah. But so after everything was said and done, I found out people in management were vouching for me to be like the first.
Yeah.
And that blew my mind because I didn't think I was that well liked yet. Because most of the people that were in Aura had like relationships prior. I didn't know anybody, but I actually knew Britt, but Britt came around a little bit after I did.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I didn't know anybody. And now, we are where we are. Like I'm still friends with a bunch of them. So
That's true. I think it's not that it's bad to say, but I think that a lot of people with me have gone their separate ways in some sense, in
Mhm.
terms of like, just because, and I get that it goes both ways in terms of like talking to them, but like, holy shit, if I have to remember to talk to like 50 different people every day, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. I
Yeah.
think I like to focus on my things and my close friends and then just like
Mhm.
tunnel down that vision.
Mhm.
I'm very much like that. So I was like, no way am I like.
Yeah.
So
Like
much
I
sense.
can agree. I can agree. I'm definitely still closer with like a few people over everyone else. Like I don't dislike anybody. It's
No,
just like
no. God, no.
some of us had more common interest than others, and then like obviously some
Or
former
even
members
like
they
had
like
the
went
time
to
to
orgs
grow
together.
with them, like
Yeah.
that are more
Like
involved.
I don't know necessarily if if I wouldn't have come on the podcast and I did for like the Auracast and then co-host with you and I did. I don't know if you and I would necessarily hang out nearly as much,
I think
and
of
we
that
just
and I
happened to
don't think
grow like
so,
that.
honestly. I think of that
Because
honestly. Yeah.
we're similar, but we're different at the same time. And I just, lucked out and got on the podcast and we grew closer that way.
And now we have to
And even
talk
then, we
every
don't
week.
talk. Yeah, we don't even like it's not we don't even necessarily hang out every day either, but I'd still say we have a pretty like good like personal relationship and like working as far as like the podcast and stuff goes.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that no matter what, I think you're still a guy that I can very much approach with anything. Like, obviously, when I was struggling last week or something with that because I'm going into lockdown again, woohoo,
Mhm.
and whatnot. So I'm spending my birthday alone. Well, Ben, not alone
Mhm.
necessarily, but I was like, this fucking sucks. I'm sure I talked to you about that.
You did. You
I
texted
did,
me
yeah.
about it. Mhm.
So like, you're still a person that I go to, and I only have a very small number of people that I do that, and you're a part of that. Where I'll
Mhm.
like go out and approach these people when I'm feeling. Because usually what I like to do is bottle up my emotions until I just fucking explode.
Kaboom!
It's not a healthy coping mechanism, so it's always good for me to just open up and talk about things. Certainly, like the lockdown that was upsetting me because that should have been done months ago, and we could have
Mhm.
curbed it months ago, but obviously it was delayed, and now it's basically ruined all the Christmas plans that I had set up and
Mhm.
whatnot. So either way, very thankful that I'm still like incredibly healthy and whatnot. So obviously I'm gonna be listening to the rules. I'm staying home. I'm skipping out on my birthday. Like I'm gonna be following those guidelines like crazy. But this could have been like easily avoided. But yeah, like back in March, we had in Canada our first lockdown, and it was like I think nationwide too. It was a huge one.
Mhm.
And that one curved a lot of the cases until the summer. So like we were locked down into bit. So I got back into work and then joined Aura, I think, or like very close together. So it
Mhm.
was like learning how to manage both. At the same time, I wanted to do a lot of my own stuff. And I think that's the biggest thing I regret about this year is not taking my own content seriously.
Mhm.
Like that sucks.
Yeah, because I remember around the time, like, you asked me to be on the production team with you and like we started talking more. is I think like every time we talked, you talked about wanting to release your own content, and you just never did because you were so focused on everything else like Aura. And then you had obviously like there were weeks where we would barely talk to you because you were working so much. So I can't think of a time where you weren't talking about doing your own thing. And now that you are though, so
Mhm.
obviously it's going well, and you seem a lot happier doing like whatever you want, kind of.
Yeah, so like I'm doing the Pokemon Nuzlocke thing,
Rest
and
in
I'll
peace,
be
Stanley.
doing that. Yeah, rest in peace, Stanley. Lost our first soldier today, but I'm gonna be doing the Nuzlocke for the coming weeks, I think, until I finish it up, and then turn that into like a huge video. I've never done a Nuzlocke before, so I felt like it's very commemorating if I did a video for it. And I think the main point is like I was very, very hyper focused on doing like a weekly upload. And I always told this to everybody that like consistency is number one, blah 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 blah. I used to go ham on that thought, and then I thought like, yeah, but I'm uploading garbage like if I do
Mhm.
weekly. And I listened to a Harris Heller video, and they were talking about like how just when you're starting out, just release good videos that you can like consistently push out, or like that you enjoy or whatever. Like don't focus on regular uploads necessarily. So I was like, damn. I was like, kind of true.
Mhm.
So I was like, okay, like I already do the podcast that's weekly, and then I stream once or twice a week depending how I'm feeling, and then like just post on my YouTube whenever I want, and then I tweet a shit ton of fucking garbage during the day, but that's whatever.
Oh yeah. That's my favorite notification. I'm like whenever you tweet, I'm like, all right, I know it's gonna be something weird as hell. So this will be like I think it's like like most mornings I'll see a notification from you, and it's like a roll of the dice on if it's gonna be something weird or something normal. It's
Yeah,
my
it
favorite
depends on my
sort of
feeling.
gambling.
But it's fun because I'm not like regurgitating the same shit on Twitter though. Have you
Mhm.
seen streaming Twitter's so fucking like known for
Basic.
that? Yeah, also very basic.
Yeah, your stuff's pretty original, but like my favorite thing is with like when the orgs retweet the same thing, or not retweet, but they tweet the
Tweet
same
out the
thing that
same
everyone
thing.
else is
Yeah.
doing. Yeah,
Well,
like
I
X,
I
Y, and Z is following you.
well, I
Your
did
third
that
emoji is
example
your
right, and I
reaction.
screenshotted a
Yeah.
bunch of orgs that did that, and I was like, "Hey, yo, who's gonna post an ass pic first? I want to see some org
Want to
post
see
an
some
ass.
booty?
Yeah, I want to see some ass cheese on my timeline. I want to see the owner like, who's of age, obviously.
You're like, wait a minute, hold on. I'm not trying to get canceled yet.
Yeah.
2021 hasn't even started. So, like, when you go into next year, right? Like, are you a person who's like new year, new me, or do you like? Because like me personally, I don't believe in all that stuff. All the problems we have,
It's
December
not gonna
31st
disappear.
carry
Snap of the
over.
finger.
Yeah, like COVID's like I'm done. I'm heading out. 2021. We had a good run.
We had a
And
good
it
run.
just leaves. Like all of the like I'm a firm believer in like all that stuff's gonna carry over into the start of the new year. And I don't believe in New Year's resolutions either because most people don't stick with them
Yeah.
but like a week or two. So like
Yeah.
do you do New Year's resolutions and stuff like that?
I used to, but then now I'm kind of turning into your thought process a little bit more. Like, I'm not gonna wait for January 1st to do something that could be good for
Mhm.
me. You know, like I'm not gonna wait for for like the strike of the midnight bell to go off, and for me to be like, I'm gonna eat keto now.
I'd rather die than eat keto.
Bro, I did keto. Was it this
Oof.
year, last year? Terrible. Yo, my bowels were so messed up. Like, yo, I don't think there's anything healthy about eating just straight fat, bro. Like, I don't think there's
Mm-mm.
anything healthy like that. Just eat your fucking vegetables. Like, focus on your macros. Eat some good shit. And, like, don't be afraid to eat chocolate and, like, other stuff. Treat yourself. We got one life to live. Excuse me. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna cut chocolate out of my life completely. Are you fucking insane?
No.
It's just
I read that
moderation.
like I was on TikTok and it was like a doctor or whatever, something like that that helps with like weight loss and
Nutritionist?
all that fun stuff. Yeah, a nutritionist. And I can't remember all of it verbatim, but I know the number one thing they said is like don't starve yourself.
Nope.
Because you have to make sure you're getting food or your body doesn't have
Yep.
the energy to do anything. Like I used to be obviously I'm still a little chunky, but I used to be really bad about not eating like ever. I did like one meal a day. And yeah, I'd lose weight, but
Not in a
I was
healthy way.
I was too tired to do anything. And then, I started to slowly realize that I didn't want to lose weight. I wanted to put on some muscle, so I had to eat to put on muscle.
Mm-hmm. And like, girls, 1,200 calories is not enough. Eat more. You realize how much calories you eat in a day, and you're fine. But like 1,200 calories, it's some bullshit fucking measure that they put down. Just eat
Mhm.
the food that you want. Eat good food, obviously. Don't eat trash all the time, but I'm not saying don't eat trash. Like, don't eat trash all the time. Like, right now, I'm cutting down a little bit on my sugars. I used to eat dessert every time after supper, and I'm doing every other day or something like that. I don't know. Whenever I get a craving, I'll eat like a small chocolate bar, and then I'm done. You know?
Trying to go cold turkey is not the way. Don't just cut it all out at once. Like
No,
you
it's
said, like how you're doing it is fine. Like every other day, or if you have a craving to it.
it's like, man, I think there's like, and I'm still figuring out a lot of stuff too, but it's like you're punishing your body doing stuff like that, or like diets and stuff too are so weird. I don't know.
Like
Like, I'm
like
like one like you where I want to build up muscle. Like, I want to be able to like tackle a bear, wrestle a bear or something.
I
I
want
think
to
it'd
be
be
built like bitch that fights
the
bear.
fight bear in forest. But like that's the thing, right? Like, I want to be strong. Like, I want to fight. Like, I talked to Ben the other day, and we were talking about like if he hit me or something, who would win? And he said, "Absolutely you. Have you seen your fucking legs? Like, very strong legs, apparently." So he's
Kick
like,
like a horse.
he's never that he actually would hit me at
Mhm.
all. But like, if he would, I'd probably fight fucking back, and I'd probably win.
I think you'd be bent up. I think you could. I think you can take him.
Yeah.
He looks like he's scrawny.
Yeah, he's a little scrawny, but that's one thing he wants to do too, right? He wants to
Mhm.
bulk up, and he has to eat obviously more than I do.
It is ridiculous how much you because there's like a clean bulk and a dirty bulk. And my mistake last time was I tried to dirty bulk, and when I was putting on the weight and I was
Wait,
putting
what's
on the
the
muscle,
difference between both? What?
so clean bulk you eat like healthier, but with a dirty bulk you can eat anything you want.
Really?
Yeah, and I was eating everything, right? But I was hitting the gym like every other day or every day. And I was starting to put on the muscle and I wasn't like getting fat. I was, starting to get a little nice looking. And then I stopped because of COVID and now I look like I haven't worked out in 6 months because I haven't.
That's kind of true though. We're waiting for gyms to open back up right now.
We
I would love to work out at home, but I'm not that bitch. I can't sit at the end of my fucking couch doing some fucking push-ups and shit, girl. Like, for one, my apartment's tiny, so I obviously don't have a lot of room to work with. But also, two, my brain just cheats itself when I'm at home. I go, oh, I can go do something else right after this. Let me cut the sets up so I can do it and finish my workout faster. But I don't actually work out. I'm just like, all right, one sit up, we're good. Let's go do something else. But when
Yeah.
I'm at the gym, I'm forced to be like, I drove my ass here. I have to do this. Let me just spend an hour here and do whatever it is. Right. And that's what I used to do. And I was doing really good until COVID hit. And then obviously fucking got chunky a bit.
Yeah.
But like, that
Um
doesn't mean like I necessarily hate my body. I just know I'm going to be hot as shit whenever this is over and I can go back to the gym. I'm just waiting for that. So right now I'm just like working on my eating habits at the meantime.
Yeah, you just work on what you can. And like here, we have like a whole bunch of we've got like 2 Planet Fitness, some Anytime Fitness, and
Ooh.
a gym called Crunch Fitness just opened up that pay like it's the same rate as Planet Fitness, but I think the equipment's better or something. And I really want to go, but my state just became like the new corona hotspot. Like we have the most cases in the country per
Oh my
capita, I think.
gosh. Okay.
And we got like new state mandates on masks and stuff. I was like, oh wait, I'll just get a little bit more fat. Like I'm not about to go in. I'm already like coughing 24/7 as it is.
Yeah, and
So
for people
I
who
was
don't know,
like,
you're kind of like immunocompromised as well a bit. So if you get caught with
Mhm.
it, it's not gonna be too hot.
Yeah,
Lucky
like
for
I
you.
went to work and my coworker and I both had COVID scares. Like I had to go. I tested negative, but then it took him like 3 more days to get his results. I was like, I swear, if I just tested negative and had to be next to you and you test positive, we gonna have some words. He was negative, thankfully,
Oh,
but
thank God.
COVID scary. So I just decided, I'll just play CS:GO.
Yeah, for
Great
now.
workout. I
Ex-
throw stuff.
You just throw stuff? Is
Mhm.
that what you said?
I throw stuff. I was getting mad earlier. I was beating the hell out of my desk. I was frustrated. It was a
Okay.
bad day.
No, well, our daily cases are like, I live in the nation's capital. It's like 40 cases. We're the best big city right now in Canada by far. 40 cases a day, and it's going down still. That's 40 people per day.
That's
That's
good.
it.
Hopefully, this is like
usually
your
it's
last
like,
lockdown.
yeah, usually it's like long-term care people or like hospitals those are what's picking up most of the numbers. So it's like
Mhm.
community transmission is like almost at zero. So it's like really small, but we still got roped into the lockdown nonetheless. Just to
Mhm.
kind of like real good. So we're waiting a bit to see, but like, so I'm not worried really about gyms and stuff, and like they regularly clean that shit. So, and I'm not immunocompromised either. So,
Mhm.
and obviously like I'm working from home and stuff, so it's not that much of a huge issue. But obviously I'm still taking precautions. Like I'm wearing my mask when I'm at the gym and working out. Like sucks, but like obviously something we have to do.
Mhm.
But that's why we're like one of the lowest cases cities, and like doctors have called us a nation's miracle or something like that, because usually like Toronto's at 600 cases per day and we're like 40, and we're like the
Damn.
yeah. So I was like, holy fuck, like
Build the
this is
wall.
insane. Exactly. So we're just gonna wait and see. It's 28 days, so by the end of January we'll know if we'll have to keep going or open stuff back up slowly again.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's
I think it's the worst part about it is like there's been all these you'll start to open up and then it's like a huge spike and then everything has to shut down again and then you have to slowly open a second time and it feels more like it's more annoying than anything.
mhm.
And like I would have much rather gone through a really long lockdown and then everything be normal right after that as opposed to do these little like increments and then COVID just doesn't go away because you keep opening everything
I
back
don't
up.
think it'll ever go away until people are vaccinated or most of the
Mhm.
population is vaccinated. They said for Canada, at least 70% of the population has to be vaccinated for it to build enough of herd immunity within the communities. So, like, for sure, when, like, that comes out and whatnot, my boyfriend used to work at a pharmacy. So, him and his boss are very much buddy buddies. So, when it's brought out to the general public, I'll be able to go get vaccinated or be one of the first few people to get vaccinated with him, which is
Mhm.
super fucking fun. So,
I
start getting
think
all this stuff.
I don't even know what I was gonna say. I was gonna say something, but my brain don't work. Well, here, okay, yeah. So here, I don't know when we'll have like the herd immunity or whatever because there's tons of people that are saying they're going to refuse to get it because A, they don't think it'll work. B, they think the government's gonna track them through a chip or something in the vaccine.
Honey, you got a smartphone. If the government wants to track you, you're carrying your own smartphone. It has a
Yeah,
fucking GPS. Like,
yeah. You get like, how do you think the police triangulate where people are when they can't figure out the address? Or like your computer is constantly tracking what you're doing. You'll get ads for stuff based off of things you searched.
yeah,
So
yeah, like you got your micro fucking chip right here, bro. Like, I don't understand where you're coming from.
they're like, nah,
It's just
there's
straight
chips
liquid.
in the mask, man. There's chips in your mask. I mean, I don't know. It's not a big of a deal. I'd
The
rather
hell,
take the shot.
yeah, the hell. What are they gonna track you going to McDonald's and back home? Like, I don't understand. You're not doing anything interesting. The
Or it's
government's like,
like
oh,
you.
yes, he went to 7-Eleven on Wednesday. He got
I think
himself a slushie. What
what
the
was it?
fuck?
I
Come
saw
on.
like TikToks where they were like refusing to take the vaccines. And then it was like, if you don't take the vaccine, you're gonna die. And they're like, I know. They get beat to death and then they go to heaven. It's like you've been a loyal servant. And I'm just like, what?
Anti-vax TikTok is so crazy.
It's like that song. It's like, oh, not ready to die, not yet.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
I
that
think it's
one.
by James Arthur or something.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, bro, there's no way this is real. Like,
You have a right to say no, completely understandable, just like anybody. But obviously, I think at one point it'll get to a point where some things might be mandatory that you have, and it's already like that. Like, talk about drug tests when going into your job, right? You
mhm.
have to get drug tested for some things. It's same thing with like, hey, did you get your vaccine for COVID
Yeah, like
19?
you have
If
to
you
get
go
shots to go
and
to
work,
school.
same thing with people who go into healthcare. You have to have a record of like if you got your vaccines, because obviously you're going to be exposed to a lot of different things.
Mhm.
So it's like people are like, oh well, they'll make it so that you have to have the vaccine to do certain things. Well, yeah, no shit, it's already like that. I don't understand where you're coming from. Like,
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure in my state you have to have mandatory. Your kids have to get mandatory vaccines to go to school.
yeah, because or
Yeah.
else other kids can get infected with measles that can't get the vaccine because of XYZ reasons.
And
Because
then
and you're putting those kids at risk. Like, they're
huh,
nothing, brain empty, nothing happening in there.
ain't no lights on in here, big dog.
It's just empty.
No, I'm not worried about it, honestly. Like, I've gotten tons of shots in my life. I doubt this one will be any different. And I have breathing problems, so I would much rather roll the dice and get the shot. And if I get sick, oh well. I mean, I'd rather take it, and there will be a chance I don't catch it in the future.
Yeah, and anyways, it's not DNA altering.
No, I'm gonna get a third eye
Uh,
right there.
That's not even possible. Like, I don't understand. You're
You
already
don't know that, you a doctor?
No, but they released the ingredients in the vaccine. That's like mRNA. You get your fats, you get your salts, and you get your sugars. That's it. Like, that's all there is in there.
No, Jackie. They want to change what happened. They want my children to grow like third arms and stuff.
Interesting.
I know there's been stuff like in the military, especially where you'd have to like take. It was like I think in like Iraq, there was they had to take like pills, so like the nerve agents or whatever would keep them from getting all messed up or something.
Mhm.
But you had to sign waivers that way if it messed up your reproductive system and your kids came out all fucked up.
You can't do anything.
Yeah, it's like you agreed to this, and this I don't know. Like, still rather take the chance on not getting zapped up with nerve gas. So the shot's gonna be no different. I'd rather
Mhm.
take the chance on never catching it.
Mhm. And they've done tests as well. So I don't know how it
Tons of
is with
tests.
it, but someone who was pregnant just took the thing. So
We'll know in 9 months.
we'll know in a couple months what happens with it. But also, it's going to take a couple months before it even gets to the general public. So your nurses are going to be getting it. Your long term residents are going to be getting it first. All the people who are immunocompromised are going to get it first.
Woo!
And then they'll come to you, and hopefully that's enough testing for you to possibly get it to help herd immunity. But obviously, everybody has their choices and what they want to do with their bodies. But goddamn, this shit needs to end. I want to go to TwitchCon, bitch. Like,
That's right. That's all I think about all the time. So I'm like, dude, I just want at least like one positive. I want to go to one event next year. I don't care what it is. It's probably be TwitchCon. Obviously, that's where all my friends will be if
Mhm.
Twitch is still a thing. But yeah, I'm sick of like not being able to do things. I wanted to go there. I want to go to like Disney World because I want to build a Star Wars lightsaber there.
Oh
So I
yeah.
need this to chop, chop, chop. I need this to hurry it up.
Mhm. It's okay. We're all tired of it. But hopefully, it's gonna be the end soon.
Yeah, there had to be some good that came out of this year though. I just can't think of any off the top of my head.
Gotta meet a lot of my friends that I currently have. I was very lonely in the Twitch universe. I had people that I knew and I followed, but never like solid people that I can trust or be like friends around. I think that's very different.
Yeah, I agree. I had like friends that would watch like they understood that I streamed, but they didn't understand how Twitch worked.
Mhm.
And so I didn't really have anyone. And then like I went from having friends that were really wishy washy to friends that are like really concrete now that I enjoy hanging out with every day.
Mhm.
So
I think that was a
upgrades,
positive.
baby.
It brought a lot of people together, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, Jesus
sucked.
Christ.
What a long year.
It's been
And like
yeah.
and like the fact that COVID started in 2019 and carried over to 2020 shows this bitch gonna carry over to 2021 too. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
It's
a lot of people
proven
are
science.
saying that like at least by mid 2021 ish end of 2021 it should be wrapping up at this
I
point.
hope so.
So I was like fucking oh my god. So we still
But,
got
like
obviously a couple months to go through no matter what.
That's like 6 months, 6 to 7 months, yeah. And like when you say, "Ooh, mid 2021," that sounds close. That's a really long way
It's a
away.
long
Like
way
that's
away. Yeah.
almost 6 yeah, that's a full 6 months we got to get through. And it's like it's not really as hard as it thinks. Wear your mask, stay inside if you don't have to go out, and get the shot, and you'll be good.
When you'll be good, yeah. That's all it is
Wash your
right
hands.
now. Wash your hands. Wear
You
your
remember
mask.
when COVID was first a thing and everyone was like, "Please wash your hands. Please wash your hands." That was like the number one thing I saw all over Facebook and Twitter and everything was, "Please like wash your hands so this thing doesn't get any worse." And boy, washing your hands just was not enough.
I don't think everybody washed their hands so lucky.
Oh no, I got it on me. Okay.
Yeah. My mom gave me a little sanitizer for Christmas. She's like, here's your COVID kit. And I was like, thanks.
I've got like little mini ones I take with me, like out in the car, whether I'm going to the store or wherever. That way I have something to clean my hands. And then I've got this big chungus by my desk.
The big chungus by your desk. Yeah.
I just thought of something good that came out of this year. Pokemon cards are popular again, and
Oh
I'm with
yeah.
it.
Can I just say the content has been this year for the most part? Like,
Yes.
I discovered Ludwig, amazing dude. I love watching him all the time. Um, like the Pokemon cards blew up this year. Fucking fabulous, great content from that. It's just been an overall like content. Oh, actually, for me, my own business has been doing really well. I'm gonna do like an end of the year calculation for stats for all the videos that we worked with and all the clients that we worked with to see how many people we worked with, how many views we've generated between me and Ben when we created videos and stuff. And Ben said like we hit over 1 million views this year
That's sick.
by editing with all our clients and stuff. So it's gonna be like a small thank you to everybody who chose us to edit their videos and whatnot. It's gotten to a point where I have to refuse some people now.
Well, that's good though. Like that's really good.
Yeah. So it's really cool. It's like honestly really cool to see and like to see the growth from it and whatnot. So like obviously tons still of room to go. Like I want to be full time in 2021. Absolutely 100%. Like I need to get the fuck out of my job. But it's just kind of like it's grown a lot. So I'm very happy about that because obviously people have been watching more YouTube and content and stuff, which means people need editors and people to edit their content, or people that are stuck at home wanting to get involved with content but not sure where to start. Like it's always interesting to see. So I'm really happy about that.
I'd say as far as like my content growth this year, there was a point before like I got busy. I was growing at over 100 followers a month for like a good like 4 or 5 months, which was really like on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
It was like 100 a month for a while. Like I jumped from like 4 to 800 in like the blink of an eye. Then obviously I got busy, and when you're not putting content out, it doesn't do anything. Beyond that though, honestly, I could have utilized my time a lot better, but I spent more time doing org stuff like being
That's what it was,
on
right?
like yeah, and I mean I still probably could have utilized my time a lot better, but I remember a big thing with me was I saw people didn't want to be in video, didn't set aside the time to be in video, so I was like I refuse to be one of those people. So I think I only missed like one video over the time I was in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think an org is like a give and take thing, and that's why when like certainly for you when I was talking to you about starting my own org and like having that kind of discussion, it was like when I started, I want to be able to give my 110% into it. So like right now, I'm going to be taking a lot of the money that I'm saving up and investing, and hopefully I can invest into that future because I still really want to do it and I feel like I'd be really good at it. So it's like just a question of like when, and it's not cheap, and I don't want to be one of those orgs that like don't pay the people that they work with or like take advantage of people. Like I've heard so many horror stories and fucking lived it that like that like I don't want to be that, and I know I'm not that type of character, and the people who know me very very well know that like I'm not the people that are gonna scam you or anything. If anything, I'm gonna be there to help you and I want you to be involved and stuff, right? So it's like a double-edged sword for me. That's why I wanted to wait a little bit more before taking that step, so that when I do take that step, I'm like 110% ready to like just fucking run it.
Yeah, you want to make sure you do it right and not the wrong way. You don't want to just be a Twitter org or a plug chat. You want to be like bona fide.
I'll have a solid foundation. Yeah.
What's a foundation?
Yeah. So obviously it was a discussion at first, and I was really mulling it over, and I was like, but also for another one, it would affect my editing business as well. That was a huge thing that really stopped me in my tracks. Because when I'm associated with something like that, a lot of people don't want to work with you for that reason. So it's like, okay, I'll wait. Like, I can wait a bit.
Yeah. And like now you know, because obviously I wasn't the only person you spoke to about it.
Yeah.
Now that you know though that the interest is there from like people that are around you, and then like the community, they would be behind you if and when the time comes for you to pursue it. So you know you won't be going into it with no support or anything. So you're set up to do it in the future if you decide to.
That's a lot of thing. Like I got a lot of people supporting me for that. So it was very heartwarming, the DMs that I got of people being like, "Oh, I heard that you were thinking of doing this.
Thing.
No, you're gonna do the thing," and I was like, "Oh shit!" So obviously it's gonna be something. for the future that I'm gonna wait on it a bit. I still have a very bad taste in my mouth for orgs, and I think that's what drives me to be very different from them. A lot of the current ones aren't fabulous either. There's a handful of them that I'm like, bleh. but yeah, for the most part, a lot of them are doing good, and a lot of like the Aura members found really good homes too after the fact. So really happy about that.
Yeah, and like I like that a lot of them stayed together as well. Like I think as far as joining orgs go, I'm the only one that didn't go with anyone when I decided to go to one.
Oh yeah, right.
But like Bex just got promoted to I think it's content manager in art.
Content director. She took my job.
Yeah. And then everyone else is just doing really, really well, and they're putting themselves out there. They're making new friends and connections and stuff. So, everyone's still doing really awesome. Yeah.
I'm really happy. So, props to everybody else and all the other people who survived fucking 2020 and whatnot. It's been a rough year, I think, overall. Like, obviously, my mental health. It could have been a lot worse, though. I think I had such a strong network around me. That's what really helped me out. And I think having great friends makes such a huge difference for that. And having Ben around as well, I think that makes such a huge difference for like my mood and stuff. And I suck. One thing I really realized about myself is I suck a lot of energy from other people. If somebody else in the call with me or somebody I'm hanging out with has so much energy, is like super bubbly, out of this world, I'm gonna match that energy 100%. And then if they're super quiet and down, I'll match that energy as well.
Yeah, I as far as like mental health for the years go, the years, what the hell, for the year,
years.
I definitely hit a really low point at some point during this year. And I still think I'm like clawing my way out of that low point. But this year, it could have been a lot worse than it actually was. I didn't have anyone close to me get sick.
Yeah.
Made a lot of friends. And I think I'm coming out of the year a lot better than I started it off. And I'm just hoping it's not what is it? It's not like a ruse that that 2021's not gonna start and it's be like, yeah, sit down. And then I remember my place and it's the bottom of the totem pole.
Yeah, I think we're doing really good. It's going to be a slow process back to normal as well. And it's going to be really weird, not like, because I'm so used to staying far away from people that I like, usually like grocery stores or whatnot. Like you're always hanging back and waiting for them to finish their stuff. Like I'm not cutting in or whatever it is to pick up my broccoli right next to somebody else. Like it's like such a weird feeling to have to like when all of this is over. Like, are we still going to be wearing masks? Probably not. But like,
no.
For example, like restaurants and like food businesses, are they going to be wearing masks or dapping? Like, I don't think we'll go back to the normal that we had. I feel like it's going to change a lot about how our behavior is.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, like, as far as like work and stuff goes, how many people are gonna be like, oh, we can outsource and people can work at home and like,
yeah.
I don't think remote learning will still be a thing though. I don't think that'll be nearly as popular.
No, I think a lot of students have struggled. I think, yeah, because from what I've heard, a lot of people are obviously having a hard time when it's remote learning and whatnot. I think it's so much more difficult. Certainly, if you take like a very science heavy field or something that's like labor work or whatnot. I think it's very difficult to teach somebody things like that. Your PE class in your living room, like what the fuck? Like I think it's very difficult, and I think a lot of teachers also struggled with remote learning because they're having to adapt fully their classes over to that. That's not fun. I don't think so. But Shopify like swapped over completely remotely. Like that's really cool.
What is that?
Shopify.
I don't know what that is.
No, it's like just like a selling store or whatever. You can sell your merch and stuff. I don't know. Anyways, all their employees are now working remotely, fully.
Oh, that's
forever. Yeah,
that's dope. And like, I think what a lot of people didn't realize about the whole remote learning thing is childcare. That's a big thing. Like parents work while their kids are at school, and suddenly you put them in the spot where it's like, shit. Like, what do I do with my kid when I'm at work, and how do I watch them while working? It made this whole big mess.
That like they didn't live it. Hold on, I don't have a kid. I've seen it firsthand. My coworker, when the first wave hit and we went into lockdown in March, April and Mayish. Well, she was a mother of a 2-year-old or 3-year-old at the time. So it's like constantly needing of attention. You can't just like leave it like Jesus Christ, like a dog. You can't just like leave it alone or whatever to play by itself, right? Like it's a child. It constantly needs like adult supervision around it. It's not like a 12 years old or 13 years old. They can, cook their own mac and cheese and whatever. So it's like it's such a different atmosphere to the point where she had to quit for like a small period of time because she needed to be home working because or else obviously her daughter would be constantly coming in. The daycares are closed, like she's having to become a mother full time at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine that. And like when it comes to like high school remote learning and stuff, it's like you have to have that social interaction, I think. And like if you have like athletes who were relying on football or basketball or baseball to get into college, this is a whole year that they missed out on.
I didn't even think of that. Holy.
Yeah, that's a whole year of like potential scholarships gone. Like, we have HGG who he's fortunate to get scholarships for Valorant, but that's not something everyone can do. Like, star quarterback here who might not be like the brightest kid there, but he's really good athletically and he can go to this really good school from being good at football, but that's a whole season gone. And he has to, now all those athletes have to prove next year that they can still play to be like still given their scholarships. If not, their whole future just.
Yeah. Holy. Like, I didn't even realize that how much that's changed, like, for a lot of people's lives. Obviously, I'm out of school now, like I have been for 2 years, but obviously I didn't realize. And I know that it's very sports heavy as well in the States in terms of like, football and whatnot.
Yeah, like we've got football going on right now, but freaking players keep getting sick too. So.
Oh no.
Yeah, like all the time. But I mean, most stadiums don't have fans, so I mean, that's good. Other stadiums though are still like packed full.
Oh my god, you're making me yawn.
I can't help it. I'm sorry. I'm not used to being up right now still.
Oh, right.
Normally by now, like I've showered and I'm getting ready for bed, or I'm just getting home.
But you're off tomorrow, no?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then next week I've got a 3-day week again.
You're not off in the holidays until like January, right? You're still working throughout?
No, so I'm off on holidays, but I don't get paid because I'm new.
Oh.
But like this week I worked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. And then next week I work Monday, Tuesday. I think I'm supposed to be allowed to go home early Wednesday, but I don't know how true that is. And then I'm off Thursday, Friday for New Year's.
New Year's.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers to my living room.
Woo! I mean, I spend all the holidays alone time, so I be big chillin'. But for the people who normally are surrounded by people on those days, like like obviously it's rough for a lot of people. Like you're normally surrounded by family, and then suddenly you're going in this lockdown, so you're just like, I guess I'll play my Nuzlocke save.
I guess I'll just play Nuzlocke and watch The Witcher. Me and Ben have been watching. We've been catching up on a lot of TV shows because usually we work a fuck ton, so we don't really have the time to watch other things or like do whatever else in terms of activity. But we've been watching The Witcher lately, so we're gonna finish that up.
You should watch Vikings. Nina and I have been watching Vikings. It's really good.
Yeah, we're gonna watch Narcos next. Actually, I think.
Were you into Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Did you ever watch it?
Ugh, I love Game of Thrones.
When Nina and I first met, she had me binge watch it with her, and when we got to the end, I was like, I can't believe you guys waited a whole year for that. Because I got to watch it all in one sitting. I was like, man, no wonder people hate the way the show ended. Because I don't think it would have been as bad if you didn't have to wait a year for it. But y'all waited 365 days just to get disappointed.
Yeah, that one kind of sucked. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Like the best seasons were like the right in the kind of the beginning, like the Red Wedding. Ugh.
That traumatized me. That I was so messed up because I knew about it, right? Because I didn't watch the show, so I didn't mind reading articles about it when it was going on. I knew about it, but I thought the Red Wedding was supposed to be Joffrey's wedding. And then when all that stuff went and happened,
No.
and people were getting clapped left and right. I was like, yo, I was so messed up. I was jacked up for like a week off of that. It was so bad.
Yeah,
My psyche was broken.
it's like one of the shows, and like that's what I was comparing it to. Like when it comes, and I hate that my brain does this, but every like old school show like that, I compare it to Game of Thrones all the time.
Mhm.
Like for example, The Witcher. I compared it to Game of Thrones. I was like, Game of Thrones would have made you love this character for 3 seasons, and then fucking get shot in the face with an arrow. Like this is what like would have happened, but like they spent like 20 minutes on this character and then killed it off, and I was like, I don't have to get like attached to this
I'm
character
not
at all.
attached to you.
But like that
We
red wedding scene, I got so fucking mad. I wanted
was
to punch
pissed.
something.
I was so upset.
I was like,
And,
you're fucking kidding me. But it's so good, but you hate it, and you're like, fuck you for making me feel this way. But like, also it's so
See, and
good.
When Jon Snow died, I knew about it happening. He was my favorite character from the start, just like everybody else pretty much.
Mhm.
But I knew he was going to be alive. And I'm like, damn, y'all really waited forever to find out if that man was still going. Like,
Yeah.
that sucks. And that's why I like Vikings so much, though. Like, main character at the point, because I kind of know how it goes up until what's going on right now, because it's about to, the last little bit is about to air or either just aired. So I kind of know bits and pieces. But Nina didn't, and she hated the main character for a little while, and then she liked him, and he just died the other day when we watched it, and she cried.
Aww.
Like, was like full blown, like, I don't want to watch this anymore.
This is
And
not
I'm like, no,
fun.
you got to. We're committed. We're only halfway through the series, so I'm like, I watched Game of Thrones. You got to watch this.
I think Game of Thrones is so brutal though, but you can tell the difference in TV show script writing versus like, because obviously Game of Thrones is based off of like a book series. The difference in writing and the pacing, like Game of Thrones is so dragged out, but like it was always so full of stuff that would like cause the consequences for the next season and then the season after that, right? So like it was like this whole series stretched out, and like watching The Witcher was like it was like super quick, and that's how script, because I work in television too, so like script writers like to pack things together. But like when it's based on a book, you can see it like slowly untangle, and it just fucking sucks that the last season actually sucked ass like that. But like
it was so bad.
Yeah, so I
Isn't
think
there supposed to be a spinoff?
Yeah, and it's the guy who directed The Red Wedding who's going to be doing it, I think.
Oh, it's gonna be grody.
Yeah. So
God, I'm so
I
upset
think
that you
it's him.
mentioned that scene now, because I'm gonna think about it all night now.
Yeah,
I
when
was so
the
sad.
older brother got stabbed, I forgot his fucking name. It's
Robert. I think.
Robert. Listen, it's not spoilers. It's been out for years. Fucking whatever.
Get over it. When the pregnant woman got stabbed, I was like, I
Yeah.
almost threw up. It was so heavy for me to look at. And then when he's getting shot, and he's like, "Mother," and then they finish him off, and then the
mom
mom
dies.
kills the girl, and then she died. In the books, she comes back to life though, and is like this thing where she can't talk and all this stuff. I know bits and pieces about the book, but I'm not much of a reader. But that scene was just so heavy, and that one, and I can't remember her name, the dragon lady.
Daenerys?
Daenerys, yes, when she attacked the city with the dragon after they had surrendered, I was like, yo, there's
Isn't that
no
last
way.
season? Like,
I think that's the last
she
bit.
did that. Yeah.
Yeah, because then afterwards, Jon gets tried because he kills her, and then they get the new king and stuff. That was pretty rough. And then the fact that Jon never fought the Night King pissed me off. So
Yeah. I think
they
a lot
built
of
that
TV
up for
shows
like
think.
4 seasons.
But like, obviously when like the Stark dad, the ultimate daddy, first season dies right at the end, then I realized how brutal this show's gonna be, and I'm like, fuck.
Why am I invested?
I started watching it when they were like at season 5 or 6, and then after that I obviously followed as they went through. If you really like Game of Thrones, I highly suggest anybody to watch Westworld. Westworld is a fucking masterpiece as well. HBO again. Super well made. I think they just released their 2nd season. I think they're going on to their 3rd. I'm not 100% sure. But like it's set in like this like, I can't say too much. Because it fucks with your head, right? It's such good writing where like you think while you're watching it, you know what's happening, but you fucking don't, because they get to the 2nd season, you're like, everything I know is a lie. This fucking sucks. Say it's so good. I highly suggest Westworld if anybody likes Game of Thrones. Like a westernized series, but not really westernized series.
I used to be a big Walking Dead guy, and
Oh
then the
yeah.
show just got so. My favorite like bit was when Negan was first introduced, and he was just so like badass. Like I remember the ads where he's like, "Hi, I'm Negan." I was like, I know what's coming because I read the books, and then they clapped Abraham, and I was like, "Huh, Glenn's gonna live." And then Daryl punches Negan in the face, and he's pacing around the circle and Glenn's character is like sitting up higher than everyone else's. I was like, he's about to die. And when he got destroyed, I was like, oh, this could be what this show needs to stay relevant. And then it just died
I
off.
feel like
It
it
was
just got like
stretched out.
repetitive. Yeah, like it was like
Mhm.
the same thing every you get one evil villain every season. They try and kill him or whatever it might be,
Mhm.
you know?
You meet a new group, you find a new place. Oh no, people here are bad because they don't trust anyone because zombies are everywhere. And then they killed my boy. They killed Rick off. Like he was supposed to get a spinoff, but now I think the series is coming to an end.
Hmm.
So what are you gonna do with him now that it's over? Because I think he was gonna get his movies, and then he was coming back to the show. But obviously, if the show's over, it's no longer happening. But as soon as they killed Rick, I was like, yeah, I'm not even gonna try to killed. They took him off. I'm not even gonna try to catch back up because Michonne is leaving too, and Norman Reedus is really all they have now. Just like I'm not about to waste all the time in this again. I'm done with it.
I only liked the first couple seasons. After that, I was like, "Bleh."
It was good for a while, but it just yeah, like you said, it got really repetitive. The comic books are good. I highly recommend reading the
I
comic
think
books.
anything that was based off a comic book or a book, books and comic books are always the best, no matter what.
Harry Potter
Fuck,
movies went hard.
except for Twilight. Well, actually, the movies.
The movies sucked. What do you mean? I've seen the movies. Those sucked.
My 14-year-old brain enjoyed the movies. It was like, oh, hot vampire daddy.
What the first of
Edward.
all,
Edward.
Jacob was much more attractive, but I was team Edward because I don't remember
When
why. I just wanted to be different.
when Jacob imprinted on the whatever fucking daughter of
Mhm.
Christine or whatever.
What the
That
hell is
was
her name?
so fucking weird. I
Is it
was like,
Bella?
okay, I'm done. Bella. That's what it was. I was like,
Yo, that
this.
sounds so bad that I remember that.
I was like, okay. I was like, I'm done with this. I was
See,
like, she's 5 years old. I'm over it.
I didn't realize apparently I had an attraction to Kristen Stewart until my senior year of high school. I dated a girl that looked like a 1-for-1 replica of her. And I
Really?
was like, yeah, I was like, because people always called me out about it. And I was like, huh, you might be mildly correct about this one. Like you might be onto something. I didn't realize it, but I was like, damn. Apparently, dude, like apparently pale women just do it for me, I guess. I don't know.
Pale woman, just do it for me.
I don't know, man.
So
Like I didn't
weird.
mean to. Well, it was actually the booty, but still.
Bruh. Close your ears, please, God. What the fuck is this? No, I think the show that I enjoyed the most was 100% Westworld and Game of Thrones. Not the last season, but everything else was fine.
Yeah, nope. I'm gonna have to go with the only show that I like is probably Vikings, and I used to hate Vikings. I loathed it. And then I got really like I was like, I started seeing little tidbits of it on the internet, and I kind of was able to piece together the story. And then I was like, huh, this will probably make a good watch. So I started watching it. And now here I
High-key,
am.
Attack on Titan too. Attack on Titan is really good.
Yes, it's so good.
I
I
have to
love that
listen.
anime so
I
much.
only listened to the first season because then it took like a couple years to come out with the second, right? Or something
Like a
crazy.
year
and
or
then,
two. Like a year or two. It's because the the manga, I don't know the proper way to pronounce
yeah.
it. It had to get further along so that the show could be written. Because I don't think they're like exact 1-for-1 scales of each other.
No, I don't think so either.
But it's been a great watch. Like I got so invested in it. And I still need to watch the newest season that I think
yeah,
is ongoing right now.
yeah, a couple anime
but
is really good. I should really listen to more of them.
yeah.
What are they?
I showed my oldest daughter Attack on Titan when she was little. She had night terrors for 6 months.
Joseph. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I didn't think that went through. I was just watching it. She plopped down next to me. I was like,
Here's
and then
some
that night,
cartoon man.
yeah, that
Stabbing
night when
bigger cartoon man.
yeah, that night in the middle of the night, she was like, ah! I was like,
I
what's
messed
wrong
up.
with you?
Oops. I fucked up.
I didn't think about it for like weeks, and then I was like, damn.
That's probably what made it, yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit.
A little bit. Anyways. Long story short. Hopefully 2021 is a better year.
I hope it's your year, everybody out there.
Yeah,
My year to win the lottery.
everybody's like, I'm gonna make 2021 my bitch. I was like, I'm gonna wait until this corona shit is over, and then I'm gonna make it my bitch.
Everyone said the same shit about this year, and this year said, nah, sit the fuck down. I got some shit to do.
Yeah, first of all, you guys been having fun for way too fucking goddamn long. We're ruining it. Good night. Everybody's in fucking...
Yo, Matt, like, here's my swift prediction for next year, right?
Yeah.
If it carries the negative prediction, okay? Like, the positive prediction is that it's going to be, like, one of the greatest years of all time. Or, right, climate change is going to be 3,000 times worse, and we won't start flooding. I'm calling it. Put that on the bingo card for next year.
I think Australia is going to be on fire again in January because of the heat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because, right, like, here now, normally it's freezing. It's been in the 60s, and I'm like...
It's the summer for the southern hemisphere there, so I think they're going to be on fire there for a second.
Oh, of course they are.
It's hot down there, bro. Holy shit. I went down there in December. Sydney, I'm fucking sweating my titties off. That was fucking intense. It's like dry heat. No, it's humidity because they're right next to like an ocean too. It's just fucking hot sweat. And I was jet lagged the entire day. It fucking sucked ass.
When I went to Florida, I remember Arius and Savannah were like, "It's so cold out," and it was like 70, probably like 60. And I was like, "Are y'all good? Like, this is comfy."
Yeah, Florida's a whole different. That's what I was saying. I was like, "Ooh, it's warm," and there's like snow on the ground. I was like, "That's very Canadian of me to say."
Ooh, it's
kind of
pretty warm out today.
Yeah, and it's like. Warm is like when I can just wear a sweatshirt is warm. That's nice.
We got two really big different definitions of warm. Warm to me is no sweatshirt, short sleeve shirt, shorts.
That is hot. Warm. That's hot weather.
No, hot for me is I won't go outside because I'm sweating to death. That is hot.
Hopefully though, like this year because of the lockdowns and stuff in most of the countries, it's helped with carbon emissions from like cars and stuff. Mm-hmm. So like that's helped a lot of like the environment in that sense, but it shows how unnecessary, how much we fucking consume shit. Like this can be changed day and night, and it's like sure we as individuals can help with the planet when it comes to recycling, but it's like these big companies really need to fucking step up their game here.
Yeah, well, because what sucks is like you got to think about how much more people are going to travel and consume all those things though, because they had them taken away for a year. So people are like, no, I need to drive across the country. I need to visit 30,000 different places. And they're gonna like
TwitchCon, man.
That's it for me. Yeah, I just want to go meet the homies, buy unnecessary merch, and that's it. Oh, and take pictures with people that don't know I exist.
Yeah, true.
I'm calling it now. If I don't get a picture with Noisy Butters and Shroud, I'm punching a wall.
Yeah.
Punching a wall. Fist through wall.
It's very true.
So remember this. Clip this. I don't care. Remember this. If I don't get a picture with them, I'm punching a wall.
You're punching a wall. All right.
Bam.
I should have put a time capsule in. That's what I wanted to do. Is there's this like browser that you can write yourself a letter in like 5 years or whatever. You get an email back. I think that'd be really cool.
I'm gonna be like, hey, yo, Joseph, you grow your hair back yet?
What happened?
Actually, before I shaved it today, right, because I'd grown it out for like a month, I took a picture of what it looks like from top down and why I shaved my head.
That's really...
It's bad. It's bad.
It's cool. Anyways.
I'll show it to you.
Okay, I think that's it for... I dropped my drawing pen. I think that's it for this episode. I appreciate everybody taking a listen. We'll see you guys next year. Ha 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 ha.
Great. You just extended COVID by 2 weeks with that lame joke. I hope you're happy.
Anyways, I'll see you guys all later. Thank you all so much again for listening. You can check out our socials down below. And bye. Bye.
Bye.